So yesterday we did this master page and we added the keyword part and we added the page and maximum number of records per page. Today we will try to clean up as much as we can do because everything is in one page and that will make things too complicated. If we want to edit it, we need to search where we need to edit it. So I'll try to clean this as much as possible. So before cleaning, I'll keep the copy of this master JSX to some copy. Okay, I'll keep the copy of master so that I can clean up the master JSX. So let's keep the copy. So those who are new, they can go to my old videos and watch all the videos, before they understand what's happening, or when we start a new topic, they will understand. Okay, let's go to master. So let me create a new folder where I will put all the files related to master JSX. So I'll create a master folder and I'll create a new file called as master.jsx, and I'll try to get everything from this master and put it in this master because a lot of files I will be creating to organize. So I'll put everything in this master page. Though detail page, edit page will remain outside for now. Later on I may also put that in the master folder. Okay, let's try to clean up this master file. I'll create a blank structure now. So let's try to do it, clean up it. So okay, so let's go to the master page and see how it looks. Okay, so this is my master page, which has 2 records per page. Let's try to add more records. Right now, by default, it is showing 2 records. Let's make them 10 records for now. So I'll see 10 records now, and then I can go to pagination part. So I will divide this, that this is the top search bar, and then we have this count part, we have the pagination part, and we have this view part. So I need to put in its own component. So the top part I will put in its own component. This I will put in its own component. This I will put in its own component. And this I will put it in own component. So I will divide the parts into different components. Okay. Let's take the state variable which will be there in the master one. So I'll put the master one state variable here. Just understand what I'm doing it. If you don't understand, you can raise the question immediately that what is this or what is happening here. And later on I will create a page so you can copy and paste in your folder structure. Let me create another one. This is the master original one which I have. I will create this master 2 which I will be using it in the new one, in the new layout, the changed one. So let me import the new one. Import master 2 from components, master, and master.jsx. So I created a folder master. Inside that I created a master file, and I am calling it master 2, which I am calling it here, and in the URL I have the master 2. So if I go in the URL, so I will open this in the separate page so I can see what's happening. It's just a cleanup thing. Whatever we did, I will not change the code. What we did, I will just clean up the thing so that it is better organized. Okay, so this is routing for master 2. So this is the state variable I created here. All these variables will be there, so I'm just creating the variables. I'm just creating the variables will be here, and then we can organize the things. So this create handle part, right now I'll put it here on the handle change. So let's do this React use effect after some time. Okay, let's try to put this top search part. Okay, this is the search part here till here. I will create a new file called as search bar.jsx. So this will be the search bar, and I will put the content here. Okay, so this will not work because we need one main root. So I will use the React fragment, which is just an empty tag, and inside that I will put the search bar, and it needs the text field. So let's import the text field. It needs the handle change function, so I will pass the handle change function as a props to search bar. It needs the state value, so I will pass the state value as a props. I can pass directly here as a props, and then I can write another line, constant state handle equal to props. So this is called as destructuring of the object. I can do like this also. This is the one way. Another thing way is I can directly put this in the props. I don't need to destructure there. I am destructuring here only. Okay, I need button also. So let's put the button. Then what I need, set keyword. I need the set keyword. I will pass it as a parameter. So just pay attention, and if you don't understand any point, immediately you can ask me. And I can put set page. I don't need any dependency. I don't see underline. That means this is done. I will call this search bar here in my master component. So let's put it here somewhere. Okay, I will put it here in a bit. First, let me put some structure. So here we have the main structure, CSS baseline, container, and the box. Let's try to put, and the master. Let's try to put that here. Okay, and then I have to close also with box. Okay, so I need to call CSS baseline, container, and box in. I need to import it here. So let's import it here. Baseline, box, container. Okay, so I'm not getting any errors here. If I see the page, I'm able to see the master right in the top, which is similar to master, this one. Now I will import the search bar and put it here. So let's import a search bar now. So here I will say import search bar from search bar, and I will call the search bar below the master. And here I need to pass the props. Which props I need to pass? I want to pass state first. So I will say state is equal to state. Second thing, I need to pass handle change. I will pass handle change equal to handle change. Third thing, I need to pass set keyword. I'll pass set keyword equal to set keyword. I already created this set keyword here. Set, state, all things are variables are already there. Next will be set page. Or set page equal to set page. which is also here. So search bar is here, which is coming from this page. So if anything happens in the search bar, any problem, we can go in the search bar component and see what is there. So this component is done, search bar. Let's see in the browser. So I can see the search component. If I change it, I am updating the state variable, which I will do in the console.log. So let's try to do console.log so you can see what is the state value. Okay, so let's check it. If I try to change it, you will see state is updating the keyword. Okay, so this is working fine. Okay, so state part, search part is done. Let's see what we have next. So this is the search part. Next we have the total count part. So let's create another component for displaying the total record. Display count. I'm displaying the count, so I name it display count. So here I will put total record found is state.count. Maybe I can only put it count because I want to display the count. So here I will pass as a props count. Okay, so I'm passing count here and displaying the count. So let's call this display count in the master page. I'll import display count from display count. Now I have to call this display count below the search bar. And I call the display count. Now I need the count here. So I will write the count is equal to, now what should I put in the curly bracket? We have the count here. What should I put here in the count? 0 like this. So when it will change, it will be 0 only. What should I type it here? State.count. I was expecting this state.count. I cannot put only count. Okay, because count variable is not here. Here we have only the variable state.count. So I have to say state.count, and that will go here as a count. So when I go to display count, I am getting it as a count, not the state.count, because this display count has a props count. Though it is taking value from state.count, but it is going as a props as a count, and here we are getting the count. So it's a display count. Let's check that display count. So right now I'm able to see total record found 0. Now we need to put the pagination part. Though pagination is in itself a component from the material UI, but I will keep it separate. If something is problem, I will be able to fix the pagination there. Okay, so let's try to create a pagination. So I'll just create a file pagination, and I'll say RFCE, and I'll put the table pagination here. I need to call the table pagination, so I'll import it. I need the count, state.count. Let's keep it count only. So I need the count, so I will pass the count here. I need page, so I will pass the page here. I need set page, so I will call the set page here. I need set max, so I'll call the set max here. And I need max, I'll put the max here. So all the options, all the variables are defined here. Now let's call the pagination in my master page. And in the pagination part, I will try to get all the things, all this parameter. So first is the count. So I'll say count is equal to, count will come from state, so state.count. Next is the page. The page will be equal to page. Next is the max. So I'll say max equal to max. Next is set page. Set page equal to set page. Next is set max. Set max equal to set max. Okay, so pagination is also done. I am able to see the pagination. Since right now we are not getting the proper count, so we don't see we see 0, 0 record because we don't get the count right now. We have to call the function to get that data. Okay, next is the pagination part done. Okay, now this is the results one. So let's create the results component. Okay, so here I will put results. Now I need state.results. So instead of state.results, I will try to get the results. So here in the props we will say results, and I'll remove the state.results, state.results, state.results. I need the paper, so let me call the paper component. Here in the results, I call the paper. I need the parts in the, okay, let's forget parts now. Okay, so once I get the results, I will show the display to the user. So let's call the results in the master component. Okay, so let's display the results. And what results expect? Results expect only the results. And results is nothing but the state.results. So here I will say results equal to state.results. So I'm getting state.results, I'm passing the results. So here I will get as a prop. Here I will not use it as state.results. Why? Because here I'm passing at results. If I would have passed as state equal to state, then I could have get the results by saying state.results. But here I'm not passing state directly to that component, I am passing the results. So here I will be able to see the results. And I will do the console.log. We are in results page. Okay, to know which we are in which page. Here we'll say we are in the display count page. And here I will say we are in the master page. And here we'll say we are in the pagination page. And here we'll say we are in the search bar page. This console I will remove it shortly after I see everything working. This is just for my understanding purpose. Okay, so we are done with the UI, that it is displaying the details like this one. Okay, so this, if you go to this page, there is a lot here. We put everything here. So in this we reduce it so that we can, whenever some problem happens, we can go to that particular component and try to fix that component. So that way we try to reduce the things as much as we can. Now let's see what other things we can optimize. Let me refresh the page and see. So we are in master page, we are in search bar, display count, pagination, and results. Okay, so we are in the each page. So if something happens, if I type something, so all pages are called again. Okay. Okay. So because once you change the props or state, it renders all the components, right? There is one memo kind of thing in React which will help us in not calling the component that I will show you in some time. Okay, now let's go to master. Why I'm getting something in master page? Okay, this is the this is master page, and this is the okay. That's fine. So we are done with, since no record is there, so we are not able to see any results. Now let's try to optimize this part, top part. There is a get record function. Let's try to put this get record function somewhere in another file. So I will create another file called as utils.js. This will not have any JSX code, therefore I name it as .js. And I will put the get record here, and I will make it as export so that I can use it in other pages. And it needs the parse, so let's import the parse. Okay. Now it expects keyword, so I want keyword to be passed here. So let's pass as an object. So first thing I will pass in the object as a keyword. I also expect page, so second thing I will pass as a page. Third, it expects max, so I will pass it as a max also. And it also expects set state, so let's pass the set state also, so that it can set the state. Okay, so that's all about the get record. Now let's try to use this get record there. So I will import it first. Import get records from utils.js file. Okay, now where I have to put get record? I have to put the get record in the use effect. Okay, so let's create the use effect. And here I will put arrow function, and I'll put the dependencies. Here I will call the get record like this. Okay, so let's call the get record here, and inside the curly bracket I will pass the keyword, then I'll pass the page, and I'll pass the max. And also I need to pass the set state. Remember, I created the curly bracket so that I can pass the object. This will come here as an object with the keyword page, max, and set state. That's why I created the object, and here I'm passing it as object. So I need one more set state. Okay, so now it's saying, sorry, I removed the curly bracket, so it's giving me error. Okay, so it's saying there is a dependency. What dependency is missing? Keyword. So I will take the keyword and put it here. Then it's now complaining max and page. So I'll take the max, put it here, and then I'll take the page and put it here. So I'll put all the dependencies here. So whenever the keyword is changed, or max is changed, or page is changed, this use the effect will be called again, and we will try to get the record again from the server. So let's check the code now. So we are in the master 2. Now I'm able to see all the records. And whenever I'll change the page, it's working that also. Okay, so this is working fine. Now I have to see how I will do the subscription part. Okay, let's try to do that one. So for the subscription also, let's Let me see how I can do very nicely. Okay, so first let's export this part. Okay, the get record like query. So let's export this part. Okay, so it needs the subscription subscription. So let's pass here as an object the subscription. So we are passing one as a subscription here. Now it is expecting the create record, update record, and delete record functions here. Okay. So let's try to get those also. Let's take the create record, update record, delete record, and I'll put it here. But each of them, create record, update record, and delete record, are using the set state. So we need one more parameter called the set state for each one so that we can call them with the set state. When it was here in the master page, set state was coming directly from the top, so we don't need the set state to set it here. But since we moved it to another page, so we need to call the set state also so that I can call the set state whenever needed. And since all these three functions are called from the get record live query, so we need to pass set state from here. Okay, so let's pass set state from here. Since these have only the two variables, so I did not create the object part. Like here I created a curly bracket object, but here I did not create the object. I just passed the two variables. If there are more than 2 or 3 variables, it is better to create the curly bracket. But it's up to you. You can create object like this, or you can keep without object also. Now, since I passed set state here, let me put set state here also. So everywhere I need set state. So I need the set state also here in this part. Okay. So get live query was called with the subscription and set state as a two variable or parameter. Okay. Now let's call this get record live in the master page. And if you see, we need to call it inside the use effect. Inside the use effect, I'm calling it. So let's create use effect here. So I will create a new use effect here rather than putting there to make the things organized. I'll put arrow function and then I'll put this curly bracket and then I will import get live query. Since I am not exporting as a default, so I have to take it here in the curly bracket. Now in the second use effect, I will call another function called as process, which is async arrow function, and I call this process here, and I will put this get record live query inside it, inside this async part, by saying await. And this get record live query is expecting subscription and set state. So let's pass that one. Okay. Whenever you try to call the set state, it does not ask for dependency here. And this is the use ref also. The subscription is a use ref that also does not need dependency here. So it is not objecting any error kind of thing. But if you don't put the variable, then it will ask for dependency. See, missing dependency page. So we need to pass page here. But here we don't need any dependency here. Okay, let me see now. Let's refresh and see what's happening. So subscription is opened. and we see we are in the search bar or whatever we are, and we're getting the record. Now let's try to add the record and see it is coming here or not. It is in the test one. I will add the record. I will say title. Today is November 30, 20. Just I'm putting today's date. Here also I'm saying November, last day. I don't care about the user. Now I'll try to add it. Once I add it, see November is here. That means the subscription is working correctly. So we are in the master and this object is created. So this part was for record live query and this part was for the get record. I kept it separate. Things will become much easier. We also need to call this return part. Now since this is a separate record live, so I don't need to call another use effect for that part. I can put it here only, return part. Okay, so return part I can put it here only. Okay, something is giving the warning. Let's see what is that warning. The ref value subscription occurrence will likely have changed by the time this effect cleanup function runs. If this reference point to node rendered by React, copy the subscription current to a variable inside the effect and use the variable in the cleanup function. Okay, it's saying subscription.current might have changed, so use another variable. Let's see if I put it in the new use effect, will the error will be same or not? Still I'm getting this one. It's saying it may have changed it. So maybe I will put another variable, current equal to if subscription is there and subscription dot current. So it means if subscription is there and subscription dot current, so I applied the current to that one and I will use this current variable here and I'll use the current variable here. Okay, still it's not working nice because saying subscription dot current. Okay, how about putting subscription dot current here directly? If subscription and subscription current, and I will use the current here. Okay, now I'm using only current and it's asking me the dependency of the current. Okay, let's take it now. I'll explain once again. I'm trying to fix that one because this error didn't came in my original work when I was doing. So I need to figure out how to clean up the things. Okay, I'm just taking if current is, what current is coming. Let's put the link here to test our condition. Like I did yesterday, I created the link. Once it will work, I will explain what I did, or if you have understood, then it's good. Because this is a new error which I got today. Okay, why I'm putting link so that I will go to another page and I will see what happens to this part when I change the page. Okay, so with the current is this one. Subscription is open. I will now go to another page and see what's happening. returned a function in use effect and subscription is closed. Okay, so these two return statements are coming correctly, so I'm good actually. I wanted to only see when I go to another page, subscription is closing or not. And here I don't see. Wait a second, let's try again. Subscription is opened. And I go here. Okay, we call the use effect, but it didn't call this one, unsubscribe part. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, it's coming null. Okay. So that means subscription is already there. Let's try to edit it and see. Yeah, so subscription is not closed actually. That's the problem here. Okay, let me research a little bit. Yeah, you please hold on. I am not able to move this subscription part to another page, so need to modify the code. Let's try to. Okay, if I don't do this part. Okay, let's try to experiment this part. Yeah, it's not working. The rep value will like again that function inside the effect and use the variable to clean up the function. Okay, let's try to. If I don't get the solution, I need to find it. I will. Okay, if I create inside the user effect, I am not getting any problem, but let's see if it is working or not. So I have subscription opened here. Let's go to another page. I get error. Okay, it's coming null. This is coming null. This is coming null. It will not work. If I get null value, it will not work. Okay, again I'm getting this null. Okay, let's try to find it on Google. Yeah, so this cleanup of this is not. Okay, now I'm getting this error. Let's try to see in the Google what we get. Any suggestions you have? Okay, the E saying to use the callback function. Yeah, give me a few minutes. I'll try to see what can be the best we can do. Okay, you can observe, go and grab the tea, or you can help me in finding the solution. I need the solution of it today. Let me do it in this same one. Yeah, this will not work. I thought it will take some more time, so I stopped recording. So what was happening? Okay, so I found a solution that I will create a variable inside my use effect, and I call the live query with the subscription and the set state. When it come back, when after this come back, then subscription is having the value of this one. Okay, subscribe. Subscription has the value of the subscribe kind of thing. So what I did, if I set this before it, then subscription is not coming with the subscription object. So after I run the live query, I put the current variable with the subscription.current. So because we need the value of current ultimately. And then what happens when we return it, I take this variable and I unsubscribe it, because this variable current is nothing but subscription.current. And when we return it, it will take the value of the current which is in the memory and it will unsubscribe it this way. Previously it was saying the use effect will update the value and we will not get the correct value. So I need to create some variable inside the use effect so that it should not get updated. If I put this current outside the use effect, then what happens? The current value is updated. So it was showing that create the variable inside the use effect and then call that variable here. And if I was putting this, here, then what was the problem, if I was putting it here, that subscription was not updated. Subscription was not updated after this one, because this is the AJAX call. It takes some time to get the results back. So once I get the result back, that time subscription has some value in it. So I need to put the current here after I get the result of the await. And so I need to create the variable inside the use effect. You don't need to take too much attention on how I fixed it. Remember that I created variable inside the use effect so that when server gave me some result, then I update the current value with the subscription. And when we return it, I return with the current value which we have. So current has unsubscribed part in it. So it works this way. If I was putting this separate and this separate, then I was not able to capture the current and return it. Okay, I was trying to put it separately, then it was getting a problem. Now let's see if subscription is working or no. Let's try to edit it. So let's try to edit the top one. Yeah, I'm able to get the TDF, DFD, and if I go to next page, we see the subscription closed. So it is working fine. Okay, so this only thing I will repeat this little last part. Then I will go through the whole page also. So what I did, I created a variable with the late so that I can update it with the new value in it. Initially I created null. I call the asynchronous call of the subscription of the par server. And once I get the response from this, I'm using await. That means it is waiting for the response. Once it is done, I update the subscription part to the current value. So after this part, the current has exactly what this value is there. And it can unsubscribe also. And when user goes from one page to another page, I call the unsubscribe from here. That was the only change I did it here. So this master page, I optimize it. So now it's very small in number of lines, only 81 lines. And all other things are moved to different files. So for example, I moved the get record in the util file. I also moved the get record live query in the utils file. And I put variable here. Creation of variable should be here only, irrespective of anything, because these will be updated in all the child component. And I divided search part into the search component, display part in display component, pagination part in the pagination component, and the results part in the results component. That way, I divide my page into different sections. So that's all I did it. I convert this master page to this master page. Let me put it in the document so that you can copy it. So as soon as I put it here, you should also type it. Otherwise, after the class, no one will type it. Okay, so this is master page. Is it, did you understood what I did in the master page? Though last part is little difficult to understand because I also got that error today. I fixed it today. Otherwise, this error I never seen in previous, project kind of thing. So this one was little bit tricky. I need to, find some solution in Google, and I found it. So except this part, which I will repeat again tomorrow to let you understand. Other things you understood or it was difficult to understand? Moving of the master part to different pages. Okay, so maybe if it's not clear, you can go through the file again. Okay, don't do now because too much coding. Do it after the class because now it will be, too much to write on. It will take time. Search bar dot. Okay, search bar dot JSX. I'm just putting in this file so that you can do it afterwards. Then there is a display count. Okay, it's not coming properly. Okay, next is pagination. Okay, next is results. Okay, any other page? Utils. Okay, so I put everything here. Okay, I will give you the link. You can go through it. So everything was very straightforward. I moved things from the main master page to different pages so that my main master page is very cleaner in the response. I put get record also in another page, and I put get record live query also in another page util 1, and I'm calling it here. So that way it becomes very, and other components are very straightforward, just using the props and using it. Okay, let me try to put one more thing since we are here. So there is one command called as the react.memo. If we wrap the component with that, then it caches kind of this component. So it will only show the results when we have the change in the count. So if count is same, then it will not re-render it. If count is different, then it will re-render it. So we need to wrap the component with the react.memo so that it will only show when the particular component props are changed. So if any of the props is changed, then it will re-render this part if I put react.memo. I'm just putting react.memo in all the pages to make the things, faster kind of thing. So if the results are changed, then only we see the results page. I will put react.memo here also. Okay, so I put react.memo in all the pages, and now we will test the condition. I refresh the page. So initially it show these pages, and then once we get the results, since the results are different, so we see it again. Okay, now we will try to see. If I go to next page, so you will see in the next page the count is same. Since the count is same, display count component is not called. See, we don't see display count. The reason is count is same. Okay, otherwise it is called again, right? Let's see search bar. It takes state. State means anything is changed in the state, it takes that one. So why don't we remove the state and call the keyword directly? Let's pass the keyword directly, because state changing is too much. I will pass the keyword directly rather than state.keyword, and let's change that one. So when I call the display search bar, instead of state, I will pass the keyword and I'll say state.keyword, because we need only keyword in the search bar. We don't need pagination or anything. Let's refresh the page. Okay, we are calling the search bar, and we are again calling the search bar display count pagination results. Let's see what happened when I put this. When I change keyword, we are in the search bar. Rest other components are not called yet. We are in the search bar and master page. Search bar and master page. If I search it, then search bar, master page, and we get the result from the backend. So count is changed, we call the count. Pagination is changed, and results is changed. So we call all. Okay. And if I go to next page, I don't call the display one, but search bar is called. That means, yeah, so let's take this one. If I go back, I'm calling search bar and the result. Search bar is anyhow called multiple times. Maybe because we are using so many things, some of them is re-rendered as a different function. Okay, maybe handle change. Okay, so this handle change is, whenever I call this handle change, it is kind of new function. Therefore, search bar is called again and again. Search bar is using handle change, and we are calling the handle change here in the master page, and that's why it's re-rendering again and again. Let's try to use it as a callback. Okay, I'm just trying to use it as a callback. React dot use callback. I have not taught you the callback, but I'm just trying if callback will help us. We will see your callback again. Yeah, no, it will not work like this. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. So we are trying to avoid the calls by wrapping each other in the react.memo. Though the search bar is using so many functions, so some of the function may be refresh kind of thing. That's the reason it's called another time again and again. Okay, so always try to wrap your component with react.memo, which is a simple functional component. In master page, I did not put in the master page because master page is the main page where all variables lie. So it doesn't matter if I put react.memo. Even if I put react.memo, it makes no sense because it depends on the props, and in master I don't want to really feel useful because if the props change, then only I want to render or renender. So in the master, I'm not passing any props, so it doesn't make any sense to put it here. Rest it will be put on all other pages. Is that clear? Because master, if I pass some props and that props changes, then it makes sense to put it in the master. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so just forget a lot of complexity are there today. Just only remember that how we move the things from one page to another page, and you try to do same thing after the class. Take your master page and put in different parts as I did. Okay, and see if it is rendering properly or not, or you're getting any problem. So the react.memo is something like that. Okay, let me create one more file so I can explain you react.memo. test3.jsx. Let me show you example of react.memo. Okay, so this is my main file. Okay, let me put in the routing. This is only the sample for example for the react.memo. Okay, so just let me okay. I'm done with test 3, which I'm calling here, and this is a test 3. Okay, let's try to do the test 3 now. This is only the example of the memo. So for example, let's try to create a variable called as name and set name. I will just use state, and initially it is empty, and another variable I'll put set age. Initially it is empty, and this one is my test 3. Now I will create input box which will take the name, and value equal to name, and on change equal to on change. I will pass it as a set name, e.target.value. So this is the name part. I updated it, and I'll create another div where I will update the age. Okay, I updated the age. Now I will create two components. One is I'll create two components. Let's say I'll create in this format constant child1, and I'll create another component child2. Here I'm passing props. Here I'm passing props, and here I'll return child name is equal to props.name. So I will be passing name as a props to child1. Same thing I'll do it here. Here I'll say age. And if here you will see console.log age is props.age. And this part I'm saying name is props.name. So this child1 will render only name, this child2 will render age. Okay, let's render it here. I will call child1 and I will pass the name equal to name, whatever name user has. Same thing I'll call the child2 and I'll pass the age. So child1 is getting name, child2 is getting age, and both are updated here in this test3 file. And now we will see the console.log in each case. What happened when I do name change, what happened when I do the age change. Okay, let's do test3. Okay, so both are saying name. Okay, I will change the name now, see what happened. I change the name. I can see name is D, age is nothing, because name is D is coming from here, child1, and child2 is showing the age. Let's do again. I change the name. You will see name is coming from child1, age is coming from child2. I change the age now. Name is coming D, whatever it is, age is coming 1, and it is displayed here. Okay, so whenever I do the changes in name and age, both the components are re-rendered. Okay, both the components are re-rendered. Now I will use the memo and see what changes are there. So for this one, I will call the react.memo and wrap inside the parenthesis. Same thing, I'll do it here. Okay, so now here I'm using react.memo in both the cases. Now I'll refresh the page. Since initially both components are loaded, I'll see child1 and child2 age is here. Now see what happened when I change the name. When I change the name, you will see age is not here because age variable is not changed. So it is not re-rendered again. I'm rendering only the first child1. The only child1 is rendered. Why? I'm using react.memo. That means if age is changed, then only child2 will render. Otherwise, right now only name is changed. So only the child1 will render. Now if I change the age, only age component is rendering. Name is same. I'm not even going into the name. I'm not able to reach it. I'm not able to console the things in the child1 when I change the age. That means this part is cached on the screen and we are not refreshing this component. I'm only changing the age component. So if we have tens or 100 component, rendering everything will make the site little slower, which user will not observe. but if you put the console, they can see it. Now, if I put react.memo, if this name is changed, only then I'm able to go into this. Otherwise, it will remain same. That is called react.memo. It will help us to speed up the things because it will only re-render whatever is changed. That clear? Okay, so let me put this also in one of the documents so you can go through it if you want. React memo. Okay, so you can run this file and check if you can, run this file and see if you see the same thing what I did. I will put it in the chat. Let me put in the React Telegram group also. Okay, so that's all for today. Any questions? Okay, so there are many front-end developers and many back-end developers. We are trying to understand the API. What is the AJAX call? We are trying to understand AJAX call. So back-end developer creates, whatever data you send, they will put in database. Or if you want to show something, they will get the results from database and sends to front end. So how does backend does? Backend creates the API. They create the API. Now what is the format of API? This is the format of API which I just now showed you. This is the one of the format of the API. So let's say if you want requesting all the users. So I have user 1, user 2, user 3. This is created by the backend team and gave you the list of all users. So this is called the API. Whatever we are seeing, this is the API. So this is created by backend developer API. Now the front end will come. He wants to show the user. He wants to show the users. Now what he will do? He will write some code which will call this API and display all the users. So he will call API and display users on front end. Now API may take 2 seconds, 3 seconds or 1 second to give me the response. Because if I run this file, it's not immediate that I will get the data immediately. You need to process the database, you need to do the manual calculations, and you will give me the results. Okay, this result. It will take some time. So what if you so JavaScript, what we do in the front end, we call the asynchronous call. Asynchronous means we just send the request to the backend. We send the request to backend and forget it. We send the request to backend and we forget that request. And we do different things in the JavaScript. We can do anything in the JavaScript. We can do we can write some other code. We can do anything. So this request is sent to the backend. And after 3 seconds or 1 second or 5 seconds, when the backend will respond, backend will send the data, then asynchronous will have the callback function. And that callback function will capture the response of this one. So this is the API call. It will respond with all users. So, but it will take 2 seconds, 3 seconds time. So whenever it will respond with all users, it will be tracked or it will be captured in my callback function. I will get users, all the users here in this callback function. So what is this? We are sending asynchronous response to the backend. That means asynchronous means we send the request and forget. And then after some time, when the data will come, it will capture in my callback function. And then I will take this user and I will show it to the users. That all the users are this one. So this asynchronous call to the server is called AJAX. And right now also we are doing asynchronous call in our parse server. When I write something like this, when I write something, this get record, this is asynchronous AJAX call. So if I go inside this, when it say find means what? It sends the request to the server, and server will respond with all the posts which we need based on our query. And once the server respond, we call the .then, and we then get the data. This is the data which we get after some time. This is the AJAX call, asynchronous call, because once we say query.find, this is AJAX call. So then we wait for the data to come back, and when data come back, it comes here, and then we do whatever we want with that data. So anything which we go send to the server and gets the data back, it is the AJAX call. Here we are doing AJAX call like this. Sometimes the backend people will give us the API. We call the API, and that is also AJAX call. Is that clear?